Once again, what's up with my subscribers, man? So I had a couple questions that people asked me, and one of them was about what if I'm a non-affiliate and I come to prison, and then why or what is your experience with the skinheads and white gang members and all that? So it's like this. When I knew it was real about the green light on white gang members, when I knew it was real, in 2000, I was in the hole for attempted murder. So in 2000, the way the yard is on in Salinas Valley is eight buildings. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 8. But in the middle there's a wall. So basically you have D1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have D5, 6, 7, 8. But they're two separate operations going on. But D1 is the hole, D2 is the hole, and then on the other side of the yard, D8 is the hole. So anyhow, enough about the holes. But anyhow, so I'm on the hole on Aztec. We doing our regular working out. All of a sudden we hear, get down, boom, boom, get down, boom. Man, they busting. I'm talking about they busting like it's a full scale riot. We have no idea what the fuck is. Actually, it's 2000. We have no idea what's going on over there in the yard. We can't see. All I know is it's bad enough to where the pepper spray from D2 yard that came all the way to D1 yard got us on the yard. We on the mini yard outside the building. We on the yard with our shirts. We done dipped our shirts in the toilet water. Yeah, the toilet water. And we got it wrapped around our face trying to not choke to death from the pepper spray. Cause on the way they do the ass egg yard is once you outside, you outside. Ain't no in and out on no ass egg yard. Once you outside, unless you getting your ass beat or something. So when we found out later, man, they just started bringing hella white boys to the hole. I'm like, man, what the hell? What did happen? We thinking it's blacks and whites or something. So we find out what happened. Man, the white boys allegedly then sold they Crip homie. I mean, excuse me. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say it like that. We just gonna say they let the Crips let the white boys have the white Crip. I ain't gonna say where he's from, all that. All I know is that for a couple of TVs and a bag of canteen, they was like, go ahead. And some of the white boy Crip homies, they didn't go out like that. They fought with the white boy Crip. I think they was from Compton, but they fought with the white boy Crip. But for the most part, other ones kept back, and them white boys went to town on that white boy Crip. I'm talking about they stabbed him, stomped him, everything you could think. They said the number was like 40 on the white boy. Fucked up. So when I heard that, I was like, why it happened? They said, man, it's a green light on all active gang members. I was like, damn, that's real. That was almost up there when the structure North Daniels and the New Flowers fell out. Shit go happen that you don't understand. I was young, and I was cool with all the structure North Daniels and all of them. I didn't know there was a war going on. Same thing with this white boy Crip. I wasn't knowing that it was green light until that happened. Once that happened, then I was like, okay, yeah, it's real. Man, just in the time that I was in old Folsom, it was a riot with the skinheads that got kicked off because they took off on the Crip from the white boy Crip from Fresno. Then it was a riot with the white boy Kumi that they took off on. Then it was riots. See, when you get to Folsom, they got Fish Row. Man, that motherfucker there. I'm gonna tell you about Fish Row, man. When I first got to Fish Row, I was hearing all these stories about old Folsom. Man, I was in the cell with the homie Braze. Where the fuck was homie Braze from? But anyhow, I was in the cell with the homie Braze. Man, I looked out my cell and all I was seeing was Mexicans. And I was hearing these stories and everything was lining up because I wasn't really seeing no niggas. What it was is I was in the back, so I didn't know. But I'm thinking it's real. So my mattress was a spring, one of them. I was tripping off the fact that they was giving us springs to begin with, because you ain't gonna see no type of spring, nothing on no level 4. Man, I told Brace, get the door. Man, I got the busting the spring down, took that motherfucker out my bed, got the sharpening that motherfucker. Man, me and Brace going to chow strapped, because we thinking it's hella Mexicans and not too many blacks. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But the whole time I was on fish roll, I was strapped up like a motherfucker. Then when I come off a fish roll, man, there was so many motherfucking blacks. I was like, damn, what the fuck was I thinking? I was in war mode, coming from a level 4 war mode, and it really wasn't even. It really wasn't even built like that. I probably never made another knife in old Folsom, maybe like 1 or 2, but that's it. So that was my take on Blood Alley. On my other video, that was my take on fish roll. That was my take on, white active game members. My experience. Now, I heard it's not a green light on white game members, so you'll be all right. Now, the last thing I wanted to address was squares. If you hit the pin it happens all the time. Somebody that come from a good background, mama love you, daddy love you. You might even had a job. Somebody come from a good background, man. Mistakes happen. So if you find yourself in the pen and you a square, first and foremost, know this: if you gonna hold your own, if you got heart, you gonna be all right. If you know who you are as a person, you gonna be all right. It's strength in numbers, of course, and people are always looking to recruit. But if you know who you are as a person, you all right. So what normally happens with squares when they come, if they're not a blood, they're not a Crip, they're not a Bay Area, they're not none of that shit, then what happens is you find people like yourself. It's a phenomenon, really, how the people that are squares find each other and they form clans. Which is not to say that they gonna all fight, but they find a camaraderie amongst other squares. And not to say nothing bad or nothing like that. So don't worry about it, and don't fall into the religion trap, because a lot of squares, they come, and like I say, square is not a bad word, but a lot of them come to the pen and they go to the religion, they get recruited by the religious trap. They either become Muslim or they become Christian or whatever. But a lot of them end up, finding people like themselves and being all right. As long as you don't let nobody punk you, call you a bitch you out. Because if somebody bitch you out, then there's somebody in the cuts waiting to bitch you out right after that person. So hold your own and you'll be all right. I'm a square. So think of it like that. Man, every time I tell my wife I'm a square, she be like, cut that shit out. But no, man, I'm a square kid at heart, man. I like all the square shit. So, man, that's my take, man. I've rambled long enough. Dirty weather, go.